Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm so glad here this Friday morning. Got a great show lined up. But first, let me remind you, before we get into the weather, we're kicking off Safe Boating Week next week, and today, officially, you're supposed to be wearing your life jacket to work. It's wear your life jacket to work day, and I didn't get mine. I'm gonna wear my life jacket one day next week. So if you haven't got dressed for work yet, run back in the garage or on your boat and get your life jacket and go to work in your life jacket, and just see what your co-workers say. Okay, the weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and a hardworking gang up here in the Southport. Shouldn't call them gang, maybe a crew. That's not a good. You used to just hang around with a gang or something. You can't use that word anymore. So hardworking crew, okay. And the high today is going to be 88 and the low 63, and water temperature is 76.6. I get amused and sort of upset at times. You can't. A lot of the words we used to use, we didn't mean any harm with them, but you just can't. Like that word right there. Not supposed to use them anymore. It's not politically correct, but y'all know what I mean. Okay, a river reading brought to us by Mountain Dew. On the outdoors of Mountain Dew, 10.8 at the Apalachicola. It's pretty well level off. It's going to be dropping some tomorrow and Sunday, but not a big drop. It's still a little high now, 10.8. And looking down on the Choctawhatchee Caryville, it's 7.3. And it's level out. It's not dropping much anymore. I thought it'd drop a little bit more today and tomorrow, but it's level out. But it's reading pretty good. It's 7.3, not a bad reading. And our tide chart brought to us by Kenton Forest Lawn, and we're looking at Neap Tides today. Not much going on with our tidal chart, but it's going to be affected by the wind direction and the wind speed. It's coming out of the southeast. Yesterday it came at about 17. Today it's calming down till about 15, southeast at 15 to 16. So just it's really been windy. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our break. We're going to call Seaquarters Marina and find out what's going on in the east end down there, and then we've got all kinds of good stuff for you. So let's take a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, and welcome our good friends down in Carabel at Seaquarters Marina, Captain Kim. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chester.
All right, you and I have been chatting a little bit, all kind of things going on. So first of all, let's get a fishing report on what's going on down your way.
Well, it's been a real good trout and redfish bite here in the river and down on the bay, out on the bay. Actually catching some flounder as well, which is always nice this time of year. They've been big brim up the river. The worms and crickets are going out here like hotcakes.
That's good, but I guess our offshore buddies just hadn't been able to get out there much, have they?
Yeah, there's been a couple of the crazy locals trying to get out there, and mostly it's just in the bay, the big sea bass and what have you. They've been catching some big sergeant majors, so Chief said they've been doing real good with that, just kind of hanging out by the cut right there, Dog Island side.
Yeah, I like how
a little bit protected.
I like how you describe them. Some of these crazies trying to go out because with those kind of waves, I know what you're talking about.
Right.
That's really good. And the flounder, they're catching some flounder, huh?
Yeah, that's been a real pleasure too. The good sized ones, just right off the Carabel Beach out there.
Oh,
So that's been pretty good. And of course the sharks have been running, so that's always fun for the kids.
Yeah, and anybody got into the king mackerel yet?
Oh yeah, that's been about the last, week and a half now. They've been running pretty good, and right up along the beach too. Oh, Carabel on the what would that be, east side?
Yep.
It's a pretty popular hole for them.
All right, that's good news down there now. And then going up the river, catching a lot of big brim, I guess, like you said earlier.
Yeah, good size. Mr. Beebe said he ain't seen any that big in a long time.
Uh-huh.
So that's good to know.
Uh-huh. Well, let's look at the future. I know it's blowing real bad and all, but we got Memorial Day weekend coming up. What's your lookout for Memorial Day?
Well, my crystal ball says it's supposed to start calming down possibly Monday, Tuesday. So it looks like it's going to be pretty nice, hopefully, for that week and the weekend. Hopefully it'll hang on and somebody will turn the fan off.
That's true. So Memorial Day weekend looks good. Okay, and we still we got your kids fishing tournament coming up probably this summer, and then also the first weekend of August we're gonna come back with the Sea Quarters Kingfish Shootout, right?
Yeah, that's perfect. And things are hopping around here trying to get all that ready. We've got the kids tournament scheduled for the 17th of July, so
okay.
I know everybody's anxious to get back to some normalcy, so it'll be good to have that.
That is so true, and that's a good report, and they're biting right now, so we're going to get down there soon.
Sounds good. Look forward to seeing you, Mr. Chester.
All right, Captain Kim, we'll see you. All right.
You bet. Good week.
See you later. You know, that's fascinating when she's talking about the things that are biting, because, you know, I was interested when she said flounder, because I'm getting some flounder reports we're going to talk about later on this show. We're getting some flounder reports here. The flounder bite's been pretty steady. Okay, now, we got some pictures. We got, I don't know where to start. We got so much stuff going on. Let's start. Okay, we're going to start with, look at this picture here. This is Greg Armagost. Greg, he went to school here, and Armagost family from here. He ended up in Gainesville as a policeman. Police went high up in the police department in Gainesville, but this is my granddaddy when I was a teen, okay? And then somebody asked him what happened to it. He said he took it to Dothan for the Rattlesnake Rodeo. He said, I killed a 4-footer in the backyard a few months ago and cooked it on a Blackstone. My wife ate it all before I could get to it. I think, I don't know, if Greg's ever back in town, I will get him on to talk about that. Tomorrow, the North Florida Redfish Series is stopping in Panama City. This is stop number 4. And they'll be down there with, as far as I understand, it's going to be at a city marina. And here's the information here. If you need to have any questions or anything, Chris Harwood, and that's tomorrow. Okay, if you want to go away and be at 3 o'clock, Michael Harris will be there. I think I have a funeral tomorrow afternoon. Again, I mentioned this on a regular basis. In 2020, which was last year, 24 anglers lived with tagged red because they didn't. They caught a tagged redfish and was not registered. So register as soon as you can. Okay. All right, everybody. This is special to me. Zoe Kate Tidwell, age 12, daughter of Reagan and Rhonda Tidwell, and Connor Clark, age 13, son of Roger and Casey Clark, fishing with their dad's boat, the Dirty Dog. Both parents are delighted to give her permission to put this on the air. Okay, so Julie Clark sent this. So they took the kids out fishing. Check it out. 12 and 13 years old. And that's awesome. Great picture there. Know all the families and all. And those kids right there are going to be raised around some serious fishing. And that's a good picture. Thank you, Julie, for sending that to us. Okay, Jerry Forehand, our top outdoorsman over there in Callaway, built and put up a wood duck box at my house 3 weeks ago. Today's photo shows a drake outside on the roof. They discovered it in one day, and the hen is inside, so he's continually chattering to her. Okay, see, look at the drake at the top of the wood box, right? I mean, see it right there? The wooden box, and he just built it. He said they found it in one day. That shows how they can do that. That is really cool. Jerry Forehand, the consummate outdoorsman out that way. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at, before we get some more pictures now, I got a note from Brad Stevens at Sunjammers. This weekend is the actual Mardi Gras festival in St. Andrews, and the ramp's going to be closed Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So he sent this to us, and also be aware the boat ramp at St. Andrews is closed. Now, something wrong with this picture right here. Main thing wrong with it, we're not in it, but our buddy is in it. Look at Ken Paramore. Where's Ken Paramore this morning? Panhandle Outdoors, well represented in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Look at Ken. Now, the only thing wrong with that picture, like I say, we ought to be standing aside of him, but I know he's having a ball out there. He left after the show the other day, and he's going to be down there a couple more days. And his wife, I know they're enjoying it. Look at there. He's looking for some yellowfin tuna, some striped. He's looking for all kinds of things. Look at him. When he gets back, we'll get him to come on the show and talk about a good trip he had down there at Cabo San Lucas. That is that's a bucket list item for a lot of people. Here it is right here. We talked about it, but it's coming around this next Saturday. Howard Creek, the annual Brim fishing tournament and fish fry. okay, next Saturday. And it goes on to tell you fish plates are $10, and all this is fundraisers for good causes. Here's the phone number, Bob, J.E., Leon, and Bill. Give them a call. Shout out Temple. They just do an amazing job with the tournament down there, and you know what great things they do. Let me mention this too. When you're doing the fish fries and all, these fish fries, you know, people donate the fish and all that, that's almost all profit. So I want to encourage you to, even if you don't participate, go get some good fried fish and hang around some good outdoorsmen and enjoy yourself. Okay, now, speaking of floundering, I've talked about this before. I ran across this picture the other day. This was the early flounder lights, and this ain't on somebody's wall, but I want you to look, the old lanterns. You see how they had like a little metal piece and aluminum? I can remember this vaguely from many, many years ago. This is how the old floundering light, you know, before we had the light. You can see the technology, how far it's come, but I wanted to share this with you for those folks to not understand what we're talking about. The very early ones just did actually with a lighter knot, and it just sort of had lit a fire. And then went from the fire to this, to basically a 1,000 lumen bulb, and then this. It's just a great example. Okay, let me get back. I'll get back with these right now. But I got this one more, Jeff. Is that not a good mess of fish? Okay, this is my buddy Tim Perry sent these yesterday. Look how big they are, bigger than feet. Now I'm not going to tell you where he caught them, but I'm going to tell you the place he caught. I won't tell you the place, but I'll tell you where he caught them. He caught them in a feeder creek, and we've talked about this all along about this time of year. Fishing in these feeder creeks, these little creeks that go into the big water, and that's exactly where Tim Perry caught those, and it's going to be a good fish fry right there. I do want to mention, and we're going to talk more about it all next week, but we do want to talk about the National Safe Boating Week is next week, 22nd through, well, actually starting tomorrow, and that was put out by Homeland Security. There's all kind of information on it, but just here's a better shot right here. And we've talked about, we've had the Coast Guard Auxiliary on and all, and there's all kind of facts. I'm not going to give you a lot of, a lot of facts are just facts with fatality rate. One of them I thought, right here, right at the bottom line, alcohol use is a leading known contributing factor in fatal boating accidents. Isn't that amazing? Alcohol is the single leading one. And the most common accident was an open power boat, okay, and that's the ones that are going fast and all. And also, the horsepower does have a lot to do with it on the horsepower of it, and people going really fast. And another 20% of the folks that had the fatalities had no safety training at all, and a majority of the drownings did not have on a life jacket. That's why we talk about it all the time, and it's just important no matter what size boat, on the river, on the bay, or out on these big charter boats. We don't wear life jackets on the big charter boats. We just never have. But anyway, and there's a reason there. If we got in trouble and started sinking, all you'd have time to do all that. So, but everything else, you should be wearing some kind of life jacket. Okay. All right. Now let's get ready. I had a couple of other things too. On that Brim fishing tournament, I don't want to dampen your spirit, but if these two ladies, if LaVon Bilsma or Tammy Zackrell, that's the fishing team right there, if those two ladies enter that tournament, then you're going to be going for second place, because they're going to, those ladies can fish. LaVon, Lottie by LaVon, and LaVon and Tammy are both great fisher ladies, and they didn't get to fish it last year, gave somebody else a chance to win it. So anyway, I don't know if they're going to fish it this year or not. I'm going to find out. But anyway, well, we've got to add a name. We're going to add Ronnie Watkins. Okay, Ronnie Watkins. Now, I'm going to stir this up. If we pull out Ronnie Watkins' name, okay, y'all see me stirring it up. Okay, now the winner of the $25 Los Angejitos, Card and Gail and Mackenzie and I ate there yesterday. From Panama City Beach is Adam Taylor, okay? I've got a big announcement next week, too, to share with y'all. Okay? Y'all got to be anticipating all weekend. All the way from Bayou George, Doris Hill, $25 Los Angejitos. Okay, now, this would be the $20 gift certificate to Top and Dock Seafood, Greg Abrams and the family down there. From Lynn Haven, how about Karen Edwards? Okay, Mike Edwards that did the fishing tackle. Karen, you just want some money to want a gift certificate. You get the kind of fish you want to cook. All right, here we go. We're coming from all the way from Southport, Joe Regadio. Haven't heard from the Regadio family lately. So we have Panama City Beach, Bible George, Lynn Haven, and Southport. That takes care of our winter. So we'll take a break. We'll come back with our famous Friday fishing report. Okay, welcome back. Getting ready to do a report. I forgot to mention in the last segment, we're going to really encourage you to do some camping these next couple of weeks because it's springtime. It's not too hot. It's going to be warm this weekend, but take advantage of our state parks, especially now. The weather's so nice and all, you can do all kind of cool things. And I've got over in South Walton, we've got 3 or 4 state parks that are really good. You've got Grayton Beach right here. We talked about Grayton Beach before. Grayton Beach, you got Deer Lake, you got Topsail Hill. I don't have that on here. Then you got Camp Helen and Point Washington. Then over here you got Pine Log. That's 4 or 5 campgrounds or camping areas and state park areas right there in a close proximity. So take advantage of that. We're going to talk more next week about some spring camping. But let's get to fishing. I put offshore. I put a big X. Offshore has been rough. The charter boats just hadn't been able to go offshore. It's just been blowing. When it's blowing in double figures like that for days after days, you just cannot do it. And they all realize that. But inshore, I wrote 3 words. If you count outer as one word, out of the wind. You got to get out of the wind. And that, there's all kind of ways to do that. And of course, first of all, you think about intercoastal waterway to get out of the wind. But I got out of the wind, and then also fresh water in the big lakes, the Seminole, the Talquins, and all these big lakes. You just don't want to get out, out in the middle of the lake. And also Howard Creek now. All these feeder creeks, I've talked about them, Pine Log, Howard Creek, and that's going to be the big emphasis this weekend will be these feeder creeks. And there's numerous ones going into Choctawhatchee and also going into the Big River. Let's go to the Big River first. And I want to just show you again, I've showed it over and over. Okay, Lake Wimico. Now you can get Lake Wimico, but think about this. You got the wind coming from the southeast, okay? So that's going to be the lower right-hand corner of the screen. The wind's coming this way, okay, from our right to our left. So obviously, when you come out of the canal right here, you're going to be hitting some heavy wind, heavy waves. So you want to come in, even if you go out of Depot Creek. Now, Depot Creek is going to be hot this weekend, I promise you. Right through here, Depot Creek is going to be some really good fishing. So that's going to be out of the wind. And then going over here to Abercrombie Landing, and we've talked about all these feeder creeks, St. Mark's, the East River. I haven't talked about them in a while, but they're going to all be good. You can put in here on the Apalachicola, go down to these cutoffs. That's where Bill, Adam, and I go. So you're going to be out of the wind on all these feeder creeks. The St. Mark's is going to be excellent fishing, but the further you go up, the better off you're going to be. Up all these rivers up in here, okay? And then on the Big River going up around Sumatra, all the way up this river, okay? All these feeder creeks are going to be good going into it. Owl Creek, you go up to Stiffernuggly, right there south of Bristol. Excellent fishing in all of them, and then up to, of course, the dam. So anyway, that area right there, all those feeder creeks going to be good. And the big thing though, okay, I wrote it down. It's still the Big River is still a little bit high, around 10 foot. So be aware of that. Now, if you're going to do some bay fishing, how are you going to get out of the wind? First place I think about is going into Sandy Creek over here in the East Bay. You go into Sandy Creek right here. And now, again, the wind's be coming from right to left. You get in Sandy Creek and come down and fish right here in the mouth of it. Going to be some good fishing. And then Callaway Bayou, should be some good fishing around the docks right there. And then go over here. Again, the wind, if you want to fish on the shoreline, fish your docks here around Pretty Bayou, right here in the center of the screen. That's going to be good redfish, and redfish has been good. West Bay is going to be rough. All this area here is going to be rough. It's just going to be rough. Even coming out of the creeks right here is going to be rough. Okay, but if you can put in West Bay, go down to Intercoastal, fishing all through here should be really good fishing, okay? And then I always bring up Black Creek. Hogtown Bayou is going to be good. When I say good, it's going to be out of the wind, okay? And then our feeder creeks are coming in, Black Creek right here. I've always enjoyed Black Creek. It's always been productive this time of year. So again, those are going to be some good areas to go. Worms and crickets. It's hard to beat worms and cricket. Now we've talked about it 3 days before the full moon, this weekend, and it should be really good. Let's get to catching flounder, because it's really sort of been a plus this past week. You heard in Carabel, they're catching some down there. And let's look real quick at where she was talking about. She was talking about behind, okay, right in here. They're catching those redfish along Carabel Beach, which is right in here. They're catching redfish from the surf. And the flounder, they're catching flounder from the surf right here. So what's going on? The flounder just moving along the sand right there. Some really good fishing. So that's going to be good. And again, trying to fish this open area, even behind Dog Island, it's going to be rough. I've done this before, coming out of Carabel River right here in the center, and trying to make it over here to Dog Island. It's just rough unless you got a big boat. And then you got a big boat, you can't fish that much shallow water. So that's the perils of being a fisherman. You just got to. That's why I always kid Gail about I need a couple of boats. I need a big boat and a little boat. But anyway, so this weekend, make your plans. Take someone with you if you have room for it, but wear your life jacket. Make sure you wear your life jacket and stay in contact. Our cell phones have been so good about, people getting in trouble, being able to call and help out, but always just be on the safe side. And trot lining, next week we're going to talk about setting up some trot lines. Trot lining is going to start being good. Next time we have a heavy rain and coming in, the catfishing is going to be really good. We haven't talked about catfishing a lot this week, but it's going to be good. Run out of time. Do something good today for a good friend of yours or someone, a total stranger. You have a great weekend. Enjoy the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.